And I'm Aaliyah Orozco.
And we are here at the Tyson Fury Oleksandr Usyk weigh-in in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Aaliyah, what's the experience been like for you to be able to cover such a magnitude of this type of event?
It's been amazing, everything I could have ever imagined. Like you just said it yourself, this is huge, the biggest fight of the 21st century, so I'm honored to be a part of it. The energy has been great, the fans are pumped, we've all been wanting this fight, so you guys, it's been the best experience.
I've been here to be able to cover several large events, and I've never quite seen a turnout like this one. But when we were able to talk to the fight fans, they were pro Tyson. I think I may have heard one person predict that they were going to see Oleksandr Usyk win on the night. What do you make of all that?
I think it's going to be such a close fight. Both of these men, both of these fighters just have a great IQ, great skills. I'm very curious to see how it's going to go down in the ring. What about you? How do you see this fight going?
Well, you know what? I don't really give my opinion much, but whose opinion we were able to get is Big Frazer. We were just joined by Big Frazer, who is going to talk to us about this historic event. Big Frazer, it's good to see you here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Such a massive event going on this weekend. Obviously, we're just minutes away from Fury versus Usyk's weigh-in. I have to ask you sort of what you think of this fight and if you have any predictions.
Well, first of all, this is a mega fight, and you've been at a few over the years, I've been at a lot over the years. I don't think between us we've been at one as big as this. When we think about it, in the grand scheme of things, the heavyweights, undisputed, and you just look around, what's been put on for these guys. It's hard for me to sum it into words, like the magnitude of this fight, but all I can tell you is, of all my experience, this is as big as it gets. The fight itself is a different story. I'm not sure we're going to see the best fight in the world. We're going to see the two best fighters maybe out thinking each other and trying to out-hustle each other. But I don't think we're going to see a Gatti Ward type fight here. I think we're going to see a lot of brains, a lot of craftiness, maybe a few old tricks from old dogs, because these guys are experienced, remember that. But I'm just hoping for a decisive winner. That's my main thing, because the last thing I want to do is come away from this and people saying Tyson won, but it wasn't fair, Usyk should have won, or Usyk won and should have been Tyson. I want to know who's the number one.
Do you see the fight going the distance or ending by a knockout?
I see it going the distance, but this is the beauty of boxing. I might change my mind in an hour's time when I see him get on the scales, I've been around them all week, and the mentality, they're really hard guys to gauge. Like Tyson's just Tyson, he's fun, he's energetic, or he's the other end of the spectrum, he doesn't want to say nothing, and Usyk's just stone-faced, so I'm usually good at reading people, but these two, they made it really difficult, so I don't know if Tyson's going to go and try and knock him out, or he's going to try and embarrass him by outboxing him and playing around and dancing like he does. I don't know if Usyk's going to go in there and try and steamroll Tyson, or this is real high-level performance.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, let's talk a bit about Tyson Fury's physique. We're about to see him come out and obviously weigh in. We're going to see him without his clothes. We have seen some photographs, obviously, of how much he has leaned out. What do you think that says about his game plan going into fight night?
I think it says he realises the occasion, he realised the magnitude of the fight, and he's worked really hard on being the best version of himself. I think he's cut everything out, and he's listened to his nutritionist, his strength and conditioning team, his boxing team. I'm forgetting the number on the scale. I feel like he's giving the best version of himself. Saying that, whether he's 19 stone 10 or 18 stone 10, all I do know is he's still considerably bigger than Oleksandr Usyk. Now, how much bigger he is might determine the game plan. If he's lighter, it might say like he's built for speed and he's built more for moving. If he's a bit heavier, I think it like indicates that Kronk style, we're gonna go and get this guy and we're gonna finish him.
And how has this week been for you with such a high magnitude of a fight?
For myself, this is more inspiring than anything ever, to be honest. Like, I sit there daily and watch YouTube videos of fighters of the past But to be here and to be present and know that if you really work hard at this game and you really dedicate yourself to this game, believe in yourself, you can put your name in lights, and not just to your locals. You can put yourself in front of the world, and you know what? That's something I'm going to do. And like I said, going home from here, I'm more determined than ever, if anything, because I know my capabilities, and these guys were once in the position I'm in. So if they've done it, why can't I?
Exactly. Big Fraze, thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and let's see what happens on the night.
Thank you.
Well, it's nice hearing from Big Fraze, you know, someone who's on the up, someone who aspires and dreams to be on a world stage such as this one.
And now we're going to hear from someone who has been on a big stage here in Saudi Arabia, former world champion George Groves. He was actually a pioneer in bringing huge matches to Saudi Arabia, with his being the first. So now let's hear what he has to say.
George, thank you for your time. We're just before the main event, or I'm sorry, just before the weigh-in. I just really want to know what your thoughts are on the magnitude of this event and what it means for boxing.
It's a huge event. It's really exciting. You know, I had the opportunity to come out here, and I thought I can't miss it. You know, I don't want to be at home with FOMO. I'm missing out on this event. You know, so
I'm getting a lot of those messages going. I'm having FOMO right now.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I had an opportunity to watch it from the studio back in London, and it wasn't far from my house. I was like, I could be back in bed, in my own bed, on the night of the fight. And I thought, no way, I can't miss it. I want to tell people I sat ringside for the heavyweight championship in the world, 1v2, undisputed. So the opportunity to do that is second to none. And you know, believe it or not, I was the first world champion to come to Saudi. My fight was the first fight, but I think it might have been the first professional world title fight in Saudi Arabia. But it's come an awful, but it's come an awful long way since then. You know, I was out for the Joshua Ruiz rematch. That was magnificent, and this is, you know, up level since then. So, you know, in terms of building the excitement, and then relaying it back to the fans at home who sadly couldn't come or couldn't make it. But now there are like so many Brits and Ukrainians and everyone else from around the world here, totally different from the situation I was in, and it is, you know, brilliant for boxing really that they're putting these events together.
And how do you see this fight going tomorrow night?
Well, you know, I'm not working the broadcast now. I'm just out here almost as a fan, so I can give you my prediction. And you know, the Brits usually stick with Brits, but I do think Oleksandr Usyk beats Tyson Fury. I think the best Oleksandr Usyk beats the best Tyson Fury. And you know, we're ever trying to analyze every micro detail of how they're carrying themselves, the things they're saying. We're not going to know until that first bell goes, but I just think Usyk is an exceptional fighter. I think, you know, with years that are going to go on, we're going to look back and go, wow, what a talent, what an amazing fighter he was. And I think the best Usyk beats the best Fury. So I'd love to see both guys at their best tomorrow night. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We're definitely going to see a better Fury than we saw against Ngannou at the end of last year. He looks like he's in better shape, so we'll see what he comes in on the scales and see if that's reflective of what to expect tomorrow night. But Usyk's just a genius, you know, a fantastic boxer, has you know, tremendous ability, and I think a little bit too much for Tyson Fury.
I was just speaking to the fight fans, and a lot of them seemed a little bit concerned with how light Fury seems to be coming into this fight. You, as a fighter, what do you think that says about his game plan?
Yeah, it's a fascinating one because you got Sugar Hill, who comes out of the Kronk gym, who's been working with Tyson. He likes his fighters to, you know, take authority, take the center of the ring, let those big right hands go. And when Fury's done that, the best time he done it was in the second fight with Deontay Wilder, and I thought he was exceptional that night. And I thought if he carries on fighting like that, no one will beat him with his size and his height and his range and his reach. So, you know, they're world-class attributes to have. Fury's got them as well, but I think Usyk wins.
All right, George. Well, thank you so much for your time, your thoughts, your opinions on everything. Let's see how it all plays out this weekend, and maybe we could talk after. Surprising opinion from George Groves, given that he is a British fighter and he is backing the Ukrainian Oleksandr Usyk to win this fight. Someone who is not going to be backing Usyk is Joseph Parker. We just had the opportunity to speak to him. Let's see what he thinks about all of this, the magnitude of this event this weekend. Joseph, thank you so much for your time on the weigh weigh-in is just beginning now, so I won't take too much of your time, but we have to talk a bit about Tyson Fury's new physique. He has slimmed down so much. Would you say that this is probably the best shape he's ever been in his entire career?
I would say, like, he is trim, and he's prepared the best for this fight, as you can see. And he's very trim, and he looks in good shape. Both guys are in great shape, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it unfolds tomorrow and seeing a great performance from both guys.
And what do you see going down tomorrow night? Break down the fight for us.
Do you know what I see? My opinion is that I feel like Tyson's going to win. Probably get a stoppage in the later rounds. But I see the fight, like, whoever dictates the pace in the beginning and sets the tone of the fight is how the fight's going to play out. And I think after 3, probably 4 or 5 rounds, then you're going to see who's actually on top and who's got the confidence and who's making progress of getting towards winning the fight.
Yesterday during the press conference, or the face-off specifically, it seemed a little bit as though that Oleksandr has been doing a little bit of mind games himself back. What did you make of the face-off?
I think at this top level, there's always going to be mind games. But these guys are professionals, and they've been in the game for a long time, and they're both champions. And I feel like these things don't really affect fighters like this, you know? So, I mean, Tyson was standing there looking out at everyone, and Usyk was looking at Tyson. It's just, Tyson is unpredictable. You never know what he's going to do. And, just mind games always do happen in boxing.
Yeah. What fight on the undercard are you looking forward to watching the most?
You know what, I got he's Isaac Lowe fighting. Joy Phelps is a good friend of mine, David Naika. But I'm looking forward to seeing Joy Phelps. He's that fight with Breedis is going to be a rematch.
Yeah.
He's after the fight with Breedis, he came and he's gotten 2 knockouts. He looked very well, and Breedis hasn't fought since, so it'll be good to see where they're both at this stage.
The magnitude of this event, I kind of compare it a little bit to, like, in America, like the Super Bowl of boxing. I don't even know when we're going to have an event like this again. Obviously, it's taken 25 years.
25 years for it to happen.
Right.
For undisputed unified champion of the world in 25 years. Lennox Lewis was the last one, so I think when you say the magnitude of the event, you can't really grasp how big it's going to be. And everyone here is buzzing, everyone's flying out for it, and I'm excited to be here, very excited to be here.
How has this week been for you with such a great magnitude of a fight like we just discussed?
I flew in this morning from New Zealand. I'm a little bit tired, but it's great to be here. Honestly, I feel like the adrenaline is just buzzing up because of the event itself. And also, I want to see Tyson put on a great performance and everyone on the undercard.
Joseph, thank you so much for your time. I know it's about to, well, I think the main event's coming up, so I'll go ahead and let you go. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, we appreciate it. Wow, he has to be one of the nicest men in boxing.
Honestly, you would never know that man is as dangerous as he is in the ring. I mean, he has 2 back-to-back victories against Deontay Wilder, against Zhilai Zhang, both monsters themselves in the ring.
Speaking of heavyweights, the main event weigh-in is about to start, so let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching Title Sports Network. I'm Aaliyah Orozco.
And I'm Michelle Joy Phelps. Bye, fans.
First on the scales will be the champion from Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk. $233 1/2 pounds for the unified champion, Oleksandr Usyk. Next, stepping onto the scales from the United Kingdom, WBC champion, lineal champion, ring champion, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. $262 pounds for Tyson Fury.